Do I waste my energy worrying about the opinion of someone else, opinion of a sheep? No.
Was Micah Parsons trying to start a Cowboys-Eagles war? I don't think so. Not so fast. This week was an interesting week as Micah Parsons, the star linebacker of the Cowboys, was on the Voncast, a Von Miller podcast, and asked Von Miller what he thinks about the Eagles situation. Is it a system or is it Jalen Hurts? And Von Miller said a little bit of both, and Micah Parsons obviously came out and ended up saying a little bit of, actually, I think it's a little more team and system. Now, everyone freaked out, right? Now, I got couple points here. Is one, let's watch the video first, and then I'll get to those points. And before you watch the video, like, subscribe, share with a friend. Any support means the world to me, and it helps this page a lot. So I appreciate y'all. Let's get to the video.
Is it Hurts or the team? I think it's a little bit of both, man. I think it's system and team. I think it's a little bit of both, man, because they got a great offensive line, which helps Hurts. Hurts has A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. They got a good running game.
I mean, Miles Sanders.
They scheme that they have.
O-line. I mean, bro,
hey, this Eagles Cowboys coming up, ain't it?
Yeah, it's coming up. I'm not trying to make no enemies. I just love the game so much, and I understand it so much that I can't. I when things are off, I just can't hold it in. I almost gotta say something.
Yeah, you're right. They got a great team, great defense.
But everyone has their own opinions.
But they got Jalen Hurts is.
He's good.
They got him for the MVP race with Patrick Mahomes. His stats and what he's been doing with the numbers that he's putting up is MVP worthy.
There's a couple key points to break down here. This is an internet clip, and this is one of the biggest parts or biggest mistakes that we make as a society when looking at different types of clips. Internet clips don't play the whole clip, right? I just showed you a 1-minute clip or something like that. And at the end of the day, what was talked about before, after, all those things get ignored. And I'll tell you what was talked about before Parsons and Von Miller were both talking about how great of a quarterback or how great of a player Jalen Hurts is. So as much as he tried to start a war here on the internet and everyone wants to talk about it and they're playing in 2 weeks and there's a division on the line coming up potentially, the guy still was recognizing how good Jalen Hurts is. So I think that's one important thing to talk about. We all know Jalen Hurts is good. Right now, to me, it's probably Mahomes and Jalen Hurts is the top 2 MVP candidates, and maybe Joe Burrow right there. Jalen Hurts, top 10 in passing yards at 3,157 on the year, 3,157 yards. He's top 5 in touchdowns at 22 touchdowns. He's first in interceptions with only 3 thrown, and he's 4th in QBR at a 70.4. And the team's winning football games. That's the big part there is this team doesn't lose. So that's another thing to consider is how good the football team is when you're talking about a football team. They're 12-1. They're locked in for the playoffs. They were the first team to make the playoffs in the NFC, or first team to clinch it. And they're a really good football team. But one other thing to consider is the defense is pretty good. They haven't allowed many points on the year. The system's good. Obviously, the coaching's good, even though we made fun of him for stuttering during his press conference. Not we as in me, but last year, everyone made fun of Nick Sirianni for stuttering during his press conference as if that's a big deal. The guy was nervous, whatever. He's maybe not a press conference guy. And now they're dominating the NFL. And obviously, there's a lot of big pieces to this. Devonta Smith, Miles Sanders, A.J. Brown. That's pretty helpful for Jalen Hurts. We've seen Jalen Hurts play at Alabama, where he had a lot of weapons, and be good. So, obviously, it helps when you have weapons. But maybe Jalen Hurts is just good. There's all those different possibilities. Now, what's so interesting to me is 2 things. One, why do people care that NFL players want to talk about other NFL players? Why can I sit here with a YouTube channel and you guys can click here and watch, whether it's 5 of you or if it gets 10,000 views? I don't know how many views this will get. If one person can listen to me talk about NFL players, I don't understand why people get so upset that other NFL players talk about other NFL players. Whatever. Micah Parsons knows more than we do. He plays against Jalen Hurts. Now, could his opinion be wrong? Could you think it's stupid? Could you think I don't know, I've seen him dominate you guys. I've seen him play good against you guys. You can think all of that. But I feel like a lot of people hate on NFL players for sitting on a podcast and talking. But recently, obviously, that's changed. Draymond Green has a podcast. Now a lot of former guys go on podcasts and shows. And a lot of current guys will go on, NBA and NFL shows mid-season on their bye weeks. So hopefully that stigma is kind of going away, because who cares if Micah Parsons says that, right? Like, he plays against Jalen Hurts. It's an opinion. If you listen carefully, he just thinks it's a little more of the system than it is Jalen Hurts. Von Miller says it's a little bit of both. They're just giving a thought, an opinion on a quarterback in the NFL who's playing really well on a team that's really fun to talk about. And on top of that, we have to consider the fact that Micah Parsons is on the Dallas Cowboys. Anytime a Dallas Cowboys player might speak, you're probably going to get in the headlines. And it's a Cowboy player talking about an Eagle player while they're a game and a half behind in the division. They play in 2 weeks and they both potentially have a chance to win the division, potentially Super Bowl contenders. So there's a lot going on. But my key points here are, be careful what you listen to, because he never said Jalen Hurts isn't good. He never started a war. And at the end of the video, he very specifically said, I'm not trying to start no problems here. He whatever he said, I don't know exactly what it was. It was, let's look it up. What did he say? He said exactly.
I'm not trying to make no enemies. I just love the game so much, and I understand it so much that I can't. I when things are off, I just can't hold it in. I almost gotta say something.
Basically said, I can't hold things in, and everyone's got their own opinions. So he's just saying what he thinks. He's a great football player himself. He has his own flaws. So does every football player. They have great things about them and their own flaws. So my biggest thing is, I think as NFL fans, this is awesome to hear a guy saying he thinks it's a little bit about, the system and the quarterback. And I think it's awesome that Von Miller's sitting there saying, I think it's a little bit of both. I think Jalen Hurts is really good. And then if you continue, they both talk about how good Jalen Hurts actually is. So at the end of the day, is it a Cowboys-Eagles war? Yes, because it's one of the best rivalries in football. But from these comments, no. He's just making a football comment. He's just a dude sitting on a podcast talking. And I think it just makes the game even more fun when these guys are talking about these things. So no hate to Parsons, guys. And no hate to Jalen Hurts. He's my MVP candidate. Him, Burrow, Mahomes. So I think this is going to be an awesome matchup. I think it's going to be really fucking awesome if Parsons gets torn up by Hurts in 2 weeks. But we'll find out. I appreciate y'all listening, and let me know what you think in the comments. Much love. I'm Sammy on Tap, and we'll talk soon. Peace.